was the first year that I really like spent a long time away from home. Uh, I was traveling at least once a month, going to like either Virginia, and then we would go all over the West Coast the East Coast to like go to different tournaments. There's like ECC, which is East Coast Championships, which is now East Coast Throwdown. They just like kind of took the torch and carried it for them, and that was hosted by Jet Fee back then, and now it's like Sweet Johnny Cage, Walter, Zach, and oh my, man, I'm sorry. I know I'm forgetting some. Oh, Li Joe, yeah, and they're doing ECT now. And then there was like V Time held by Gym Master, and trying to think. Oh, EVO East also happened because back then there was 3 EVO events. There's EVO East, EVO West, and EVO like World. So I went to EVO East that summer. Like right now, in 2006, I would probably be I don't know, I think in Virginia right now, just like practicing and grinding. But when DOA 4 came out, it was different than like DOA 3 and 2. It was still the same legacy wise, but a lot of the properties were different. How the wall was different. How getting off the ground was different. And you had ceiling combos. There was a bunch of different stuff in the game while retaining a lot of what makes DOA, but a lot of the characters had different properties and stuff. So it was about knowledge checking myself and not falling into past habits, even though I had only started competing like for a year, or I couldn't even say that because I went, my first event was like in June of 2005. And then there it is, that's next summer, I'm at EVO. So there's a lot of habits, muscle memory, and knowledge check that I have to go through from DOA 2 and 3 to 4. And it was that, and also learn how to play matchups differently. And it was really drilling a lot of that and getting a lot of experience of what people were doing, and then like harnessing my own game plan. But I'll tell you this, at EVO, I basically played it by feel and heart in the grand finals, actually all of top 8, because at that tournament I was sick. I actually had the flu. I got sick by sleeping with the window open.
You got a flu game, EVO.
Yeah, and it was like, now, you probably test positive for anything, you probably get ejected and not be able to show up. So that was like my first EVO when it was my flu game. I had a flu game. So the first day at EVO for me, I almost got eliminated. Like I got put in losers, and I was like, man, I had an issue versus Lei Fang. So I got put in losers by Black Mama playing Lei Fang on me. And then because at that time I was just strictly Janli player, but I had a Hayate and a Genfu, but I was really trying to do things with Janli because he was my main DOA 3, but he wasn't that strong in 4. He had a lot of holes and a lot of ways to just escape his damage. So when someone had to hit me once, I did them twice or 3 times at times just to get damage. So and once I like made the top 8, like, cause I had to make top 8, I was sick during my run to get to top 8. So what I did for the next couple of days, I had bought David Serlin's Playing to Win book while I was at EVO. And before, I went and like laid down to try to sweat out the cold, because that's what I was trying to do the whole time. Once I got sick, they turned the heat up for me, and it was really hot in our room. And I was like sweating the cold out while they left the room, or trying to, and then like taking meds and doing everything that you could possibly do to relieve yourself of the cold. And then thankfully I started feeling better that Saturday. Like the next day I had stayed the night with Afro Cole, who's also a 2-time EVO champion in Super Turbo, Street Fighter 2. And I stayed with him, me and Just Onin. We just chill with them, watch them play some games and warm up for Street Fighter 2, went to sleep, woke up the next day, just walked around, checked out Third Strike, read the Play and the Win book, and I didn't really learn anything that sparked anything from that book, but it was more so of a mindset thing. You just read about winners and how they won, and it just kind of gets you into that rhythm or like just vibe. I wouldn't say mindset because I couldn't I couldn't reference anything in there. I mean, there is some stuff that I remember reading about, but I couldn't apply it to DOA. It was just so much of, I think, just get me in that mood. So once I got up there on stage and had to play, before that, I listened to some Kanye West, Touch the Sky. I was listening to Michael Jackson and just made sure I was just thinking clearly and not worried about anything and just relaxed and went up there and just played. And that was it. I didn't have a game plan or nothing. I was like, okay, if I can get past the first match, then I can win the tournament. Because my first opponent, I feel like would have been the hardest, just because they have played against me the most. It was just Onan, the guy who we were like hanging out the whole event actually, but he knew just from we had played before in tournament, and I kind of had a mental block versus him just from that. Even though I think I should have won when I played him, and what I used versus him was Jan Lee at the first event we played against each other at. But that tournament, I picked Genfu, and I had a much more developed game plan. But I hadn't played against Hitomi, so I was just going in there blind and just reacting to whatever happened on screen instead of, you're like, well, I want to make sure I'm ready for this, that, and the third. I was just so practiced up and knew everything. I was like, all right, I'm just going to play, and however it happens, it happens. And I just went in with no, I didn't think about I need to win this, or if I lose, I'm going to feel like this, that, the third. I just went in and played. And I also stopped posting on the forums. I used to be a regular poster on the forums, and I just focused on like playing and going to tournaments. So there was also that. I didn't have the noise in my mind or the doubt from people, because people used to, I mean, they still do now, talk hellish and like doubt or try to place doubt on you so you can not perform. But yeah, it was fun. And after I won, I don't know, I just got a lot of respect from the OGs at EVO and a lot of like just top players from different games at that time. So that was cool. It was like being welcomed to the Hall of Fame.